All right, I'm getting everything ready since my Facebook was 2 seconds slow, so you gotta wait for this stuff to catch up. Turn down volume, get started, see what's going on here, get everything together, because you know I'm running like 2 seconds late, so I'm all crazy about this. So, oh, hey everybody, it's Lewis Porter Jr. Today, of course, is October the 3rd. We're going to be talking about 2-hour adventures. But before we even get started on that, let's talk about some stuff we got to put way up front. Some important stuff we got to talk about before the stuff we're talking about. Number one, let's just call it what it is. Luke Cage. Yeah. Once again, I have watched an entire show over a weekend. I don't think this is a problem yet. I don't call it an issue because it was a good show and I enjoyed it, and it went rather fast. It was solid, enjoyable. Everyone seemed to like it. I liked it. There are some moments in there that I thought were really, really cool. There are also some moments I thought were okay. And there were some moments that I thought really, really worked well on the screen. There are also some moments, I'm not going to lie. I'm not even going to lie. Okay. There are some moments in here that this show was extremely black. For all my white friends watching, who are like, I didn't understand what that meant. I understand what that meant. Okay. One of my favorite moments, and this tells you how black it is. You'll get this in a second. When the police chief's talking about Mariah, and she calls her Sorrow. And you guys, I'm sure a lot of white people are like, what's a Sorrow? If you don't know what a Sorrow is, they belong to the same sorority. And they kept saying ski-wee. You know, I didn't know you ski-wee. All right. Let me give you a quick little thing about black universities where I went, and historical black fraternities and sororities. Blacks were not initially allowed to go to white fraternities and sororities when they first went to school. So a lot of them created their own Greek fraternities, and they've become very, very well known. I'm not going to get into all of them. If you want to find the history of it, there's tons of information. You can find them anywhere. It's a lot of good stuff. But ski-wee is a sound. It's a very specific sound. I won't do it because I am not an AKA Alpha Kappa Alpha, which is a sorority. And it's a sound they make. And it's a sound they make when they want to identify each other. It's very, look, if you want to understand, look, that's what I'm going to tell you all to do. Make it real simple for you all. Go get a copy of School Days by Spike Lee. Even though it is a movie about 25, maybe, oh my God, 25 years old, a lot of stuff in that movie is actually 100% right on. I mean, like, literally, I can pick moments like, oh, I did it at college. Oh, I saw that at college. Oh, that was in my college. Yeah. There are moments like that right at that film. So watch that film. You'll get a little better understanding. And yeah, I've just found out that apparently people are offended. It was so black. And I'm like, apparently you've never been to Harlem. But if you've been to Harlem, I've been twice, you'd know Harlem is pretty black. You know, it's not really a big surprise. It's New York City, first of all. New York City's a little whatever. You know, you name an ethnic group, they got it in New York somewhere. You can find it all over. So, but as a series, it was good. I love the moment of the yellow shirt and the chain belt, which is one of the greatest moments of all time. I'm not going to lie. The headband on top, woo, that was awesome. That was an awesome moment. I was hoping they were going to get it in. That was awesome. I really appreciate that. Yeah, like I said, it's a fun, good show. And I'll tell you the truth, I like that it's different. I like that it's different from the other two. And I think they need to keep doing that. Because Daredevil show is one type of show. Jessica Jones show is one type of show. Luke Cage show is one type of show. It's very much, you know, let's show different avenues. And I'm not the same as I'm a black guy. Like, yeah, I like it because I'm black and I can see some black people. I saw a lot of black people I like. I said, oh my God, that was kind of cool. What made it I thought was even cooler, it wasn't Jessica Jones. And it wasn't Daredevil. Which gets me all excited. Like, what's Iron Fist going to be? Because Iron Fist can't be any of those. What's Iron Fist going to be something totally different on top of that? So I'm telling you, man, this is good. I'm really proud of Marvel's TV shows, except for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Marvel's Netflix TV shows are really good. They're really trying different stuff, and I like that. And some people say, well, I don't know if I like this as much as I like the other two. I'm like, you don't have to. That's the cool thing. You don't have to love all of them. You like the ones you like. That's what comics makes comics great. If you don't know anything about comic books, you know, there's lots of different types of comic books. You can read different ones, and not everybody has to read the same. Everybody has to read the exact same thing. Not everybody has to read X-Men. God, good Lord. There's different books out there. Some people like Doctor Strange. Some people like a Brother Voodoo book. I don't know what that's about, but whatever. You know, some people love Ghost Rider. Some people love the Fantastic Four. It's a little bit of everything. That's what it should be. A little taste of everything. It should all not be the same thing. It should feel different, have a different look, have a different feel. So yeah, Luke Cage, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think people will enjoy it. Exit. If you want to get more about the whole blackness thing, you have to go to my class. I'll be holding at Gen Con, how to be blacker in the role-playing game industry. That's what I'll be doing soon, because that's how kind of guy I am. Because I do dope shit and I live a dope life. Ta-da. Okay, so with that fun stuff, let's talk about some other stuff that's going on, some quick stuff. Kickstarter news. Salt in the Wound, apparently doing very, very well. Actually, I got it up right here. Salt in the Wound, asking for 5,000. They're up to 22 grand. So almost 23 grand. 23,000. Boom, they're very close. So they're going to do very, very well. I backed this. How much did I back this for? I backed it. I haven't backed this yet. Oh my God, I thought I backed this yet. I must be waiting for some more stuff. Yeah. Because I just backed. Oh, I'm not going to say it because I don't have to do it because I'm so lazy like that. But Salt and Wound, I'll have to put some money down. And then, damn those folks at Cobalt Press had the audacity to do their Demon Cults with Jeff Lee. Jeff Lee, who just finished doing my book with me and still doing another book with me. Jeff Lee thinks he's some kind of like world famous writer or something. He's everywhere now. He's trying to be the Clinton Boomer of the Jeff Lees. That's all I'm saying. Trying to be everywhere. That's what people are. So they just started today. They're already at 10,000. They asked for 7. That was an odd number, 7,700. I don't know where they came up with that number, but whatever. Hey man, we all check crazy numbers. So they've gotten 10,000 so far, and they got 28 more days to go. They got some pretty good prizes, rewards. So they've gotten to their first stretch goal, expanded art, which we all know expanded art is always a good thing. So that's cool. And they got some more stuff going on. So we're gonna check it out. I've got a link, of course, on the bottom for YouTube and the top for Facebook. What other fun stuff? Interface Zero, also Interface Zero. It says Zero. That's funny. Interface Zero. Maybe Interface Zero is a new thing, but I digress. They're currently at a little over 17,000. You know what, Jeff? We are going to say that. That's your new tagline. Jeff's new tagline from now is Jeff Lee, the Clinton Boomer of Jeff Lees. Boom. That's what I'm just going to put it out there. That's how it's going to be. Boom. Interface Zero 2.0 is at 17,000, like I said. It's got 8 days left. So if you're looking for some cyberpunk stuff, I believe they actually have a reward where they can convert it into a Starfinder. If I can't remember what the level was, I'm scrolling through real quick so I can get it real quick. Solar System book. But I don't know. I remember reading it somewhere. I might be mistaken. You have to check again. But I think they're going to be able to convert it. I'm not sure. Just check it out. That's going on. So boom. What else are we? Did I miss anything? Interface Zero. Okay, good. I'm actually done with the easy stuff. Now onto the interesting conversations, because God knows I'm about those interesting conversations. Because I am just, interesting. So, last week, a buddy of ours, well, buddy of mine, but buddy of ours, JP Chaplot, was kind enough to put this on his post. Hold on, I'm going to read this before getting this. Yep, Scott is right. I'm not going to read Scott's thing because I agree with it full. You got to look in the thread. So, last week, JP put up a post at his Facebook page, which actually was linked to his regular web page, which I'm going to go to now because I want to make sure I want to get the quote of it, but I think it's very important. Big thank you. Guess where I am? Okay, so the gist of it is, I really want to get this, but he's got all his personal stuff. There it is. Boom. He says, 2-hour adventures. What do you think? Question mark. And this is funny because I was talking to Michael McCarthy, about one of my writers who does a lot of the writing or adventures, about 2-hour adventures and how to change them and what I would think is better. And, JP brought this up, and it's a really short blog post, but it's kind of an interesting idea. And, it's very much a sense of, can you do 2-hour adventures? And I really, really thought about it. I mean, I really sat down, I thought about it, I kicked the idea around a little bit, and I was like, the 2-hour adventure might be the greatest thing ever thought of. Okay, I know you're like, what are you talking about? 2-hour adventure? This isn't, come on, it's a 2-hour adventure. Don't get all crazy. No, look, hold on here. Let's really think about this. I'm going to talk from the perspective of the single father whose time is extremely limited, so I've got to pick and choose things I can do. That being said, committing for a 4-hour adventure, which really is 5 hours, is almost impossible. I mean, look, like I said, I have a son. I got to be here for him. I can't, drop him off for 5 hours with someone to go play games. That's just not realistic, especially depending on the time. During the week, not possible. I got to go to job after that. On the weekends, well, my weekends I'm trying to relax and do stuff for my business, so it's like I can't really do that. But 2 hours, I could do 2 hours. I could do 2 hours. That would be, uh, you know, I think 2 hours is kind of like could be the new sweet spot. I'm kind of fascinated by this whole idea of the 2 hours. Okay, let me actually get to his post. And Dippy's talking about some stuff, and he talks about, would you be willing to play in a 2 hour format? And while talking to Michael, we kind of like picked some ideas around, because I think it's possible to do kind of what we did by accident. I'm totally by accident when we did Chronicles. Chronicles of the Gatekeeper. Now I gotta put that in. Damn it, I wasn't seeing. Because I tried to write my notes before, so I don't have to put links in now. I'm trying to be like proactive. What was I thinking? So Chronicles, when we did it, we kind of did it with 2 hour adventures in the middle, but it wasn't really, planned. I just wanted to have an alpha one, an omega, and a 2 hour adventure in the middle. And it's like, okay, John asked a very good question. He goes, it needs to be quick and short and to the point and get to it. And people say, oh, okay, John says it doesn't sound like an actual adventure. I think if you put 2 encounters in there, 2 solid encounters, and they don't always be combat related. They can be role playing and combat, or 2 role playing or 2 combat. You can make it go rather quickly. But because let's be honest, combat slows things down. But you could do it well. I mean, look, let's just call it like it is. The writing on some stuff has gotten to a point where it's gotten ridiculous. I don't mean this in a bad way, but I mean this if you think about the adventures we read as kids, they were not very detailed. They were basically, they gave you some really general stuff. I mean, hell, let's look at Tomb of Horrors. No, let's even go White Plume. I think is maybe 32 pages, maybe. If I don't even have put my copy of it somewhere around there. I had to find it digitally. It's not very long. And I mean, they put monsters in there, put the whole stuff, and made it like awesome. But I think what's happened, and most people I think will agree, is that so much fluff has been added on top of stuff that it's not really getting through the adventure is very difficult. But you've got to go through the reams of the history, and that's something that drives me crazy. I mean, if people didn't know this about me, this literally drives me crazy. Yes, Scott. I understand that the stat blocks were because they're 1 cent. But now in this modern age, we don't have to keep our stat blocks in front of us. We have this thing called computers. We can link to maybe a website. You've heard of it. I think it's called what's it called? D20 PFSRD. That has all that stuff on there. Maybe that's something you heard of. I'm just saying, maybe. You can link to that stuff. You don't have to actually have that stuff in the paper. You can make it smaller. We can clone sheep. We can send them into the moon. We can make smaller books that we produce. And I think a lot of people get into the whole history stuff, but they get so far in the history, it doesn't really. They tell you about something happened like 1,000 years ago, and and it's like, holy cow! Chop off that stuff. I mean, move it along as fast as you can. Get to the modern point as fast as you can, because what happened in the last 30 years is really what's important. 1,000 years ago, yeah, you can be very general. It doesn't matter. 1,000. What happened 1,000 years in America? Well, not that you don't really care. It's not that important. It's important, but it's not really that important. So, I mean, you can shrink it down to this. But the last 30 years are where all the important stuff is going to happen, at least to the characters you're dealing with today. Put that stuff in there. Put it together. Boom. Are you really... Look. Okay, so now John's talking about... He showed me a stat block. Look, John, I'm talking even making it smaller than that. John put a stat block of, I guess, I assume it's an old school one. I would make it literally link to your stuff. Boom, done. Have a nice day. We don't have to. You've already done the hard work. Why am I? Let's be honest. You've done the hard work. Here's a stat block for it. Just go. Boom. Just blow. Got a computer? Okay, here's a stat block. Here's what the stats need to be. Great. Done. They don't have to be on the paper. We don't have to put them on the paper. If we did, even better, we could have a sheet that's just all the stat blocks those adventure have that's totally separate from it. Boom. And maybe you do these stat blocks over and over. We don't have to keep, doing these long, drawn out, overdone. Oh my God. Dude, just get to the cool stuff. Get to this cool stuff. And for 2 hours, that means we can't sit around and BS for, I'm not paying attention. No, it's play. But let's be honest. At a table, when you do a regular game, there's the gaming part and then there's a socializing part. If we took the socializing part out, I'm willing to bet you that'd be about 60% of it. Now, 60% is a lot. I don't know if that's totally true, but I'm going to say 60% because I just feel like 60%. So let's take 60%. Let's make it 2 hours. 2 hours of a good, make it sidetrack. Maybe sidetracks become the new adventures. And because, okay, so All right, this goes back to this once again goes back to the whole living campaign. And since can I reach? Yes, look at that. Boom. Perfect timing. Since I'm talking about this this weekend, I know you probably can't see this very well. Let me show this up here for the YouTube people. We're doing the summoning. See, boys and girls, this is why I should talk. I'm going to talk to these guys about some of the choices in graphic design because they're local guys. They're doing basically an organized play down in Miami this weekend, which I've got to find some time to go to, which will be funny enough. So they're playing Pathfinder Society, Living Arcanist, Marvel Superheroes, D&D Adventure League, Vampire, Mage, and Rotted Capes, which is from Paradigm Concepts. So it's going to be all living all the time. Yes, Alan, I understand. Socializing is definitely part of the thing, but let's not over socialize and forget about the game. Because like I said, I don't have the time to play 4 hours. I've got to find other ways to get the maximum out in the shortest amount of time possible. Yes, I'd like to get rid of Lucas. He's crazy as anything. He wants to choke me, and but he's my man. So I gotta love him. What can I say? He's my man. The game up to the bi-weekly GM either really cheap as hell, really doing that soon. Well, John, I can't do everything for people. If this guy is a college professor at a community college, I'm pretty sure they got some Wi-Fi going over there. You can download the stuff there, and if you make it, let's be honest, it's organized play. An organized play with 2-hour thing is not going to be $5. It's just not going to be $5. It's going to be like $2, maybe $2.50. It's not a lot of money because really, we're talking about 3,000 words, 4,000 words tops. If it's 4,000 words, I'm gonna tell you right now, if we do something that's 4,000 words, going to be for this, we're only going to have a flat rate. Boom, we'll be like flat rate will either be like $50. You want to write for us? It's $50. You can write a billion of these as you want, as long as they connect, they do what they're supposed to do. Boom, you can write for us. They're going to be $50. I would cash in all day with that. And honestly, we'd get a really cheap editor, and I mean the sense of finding a college student who's in English, who wants to get some writing experience. We'll toss them $10. Boom, and we'll just put this thing together. $60 will sell, and we'll sell like hotcakes. And we just keep making them. Boom, we release them every 2 weeks. Well, something that short you can release every week, but every 2 weeks. Bam, bam, bam. So people can play. People can play. People can play. And maybe we could even do it faster. Maybe we could do every week. Bam, 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 bam. Shotgun. People will start playing it, and I think you'll get that interest. All right. So basically, this whole 2-hour thing is basically spun out of my whole interest on organized play of late. I've become very, very interested in organized play. I've been talking with Pathfinder Society and Living Arcanist, and now Legends of Arcanist, and just understanding the process from a really different perspective, from someone who's actually producing the material and putting it out. Because I think people want to play. People want to play. People can start okay, like JP has First Ones Entertainment. They focus on doing organized play, and he did it for us for New Exodus. And I think he got the idea right. He understood what it was. He understood how to do it right. That being said, it's still some pieces are missing. Some pieces are missing just by stuff, Scott, if you, Scott, you could have just regular. Scott just said, if you're a pretty good pool of freelancers, it can be churned out pretty fast. Relatively speaking, 3,000, 4,000 words shouldn't take more than 2 weeks. It shouldn't. That's my feeling. I'm not asking for Matt Forbeck level. Okay, I'm not asking for 1,000 words an hour. Let's just, I'm not asking for more Matt Forbeck or Steve Long or Shane Hensley. I'm not looking at that level. I'm looking for maybe 4,000 words twice a month. I think, and boom, that's $100 for you. It's very, very simple. And then, you build it off of that. I think that could be anyone starting for organized play. And then the people can say, well, what about the GMs? That's another issue I got to deal with. I got to deal with that's another problem. Why not? Okay, John said, why not say this, the 4-hour assumption and then have the Monsters run the convention to sponsor? And okay, so all right, since everybody's asking all these questions and it's going really fast, I'm trying to talk to you all, and it's 20 minutes in. Oh, Jesus. All right, so let me tell you what I had. It's the same kind of one. I might have mentioned it before, but here it is. Everything is based off the convention cycle. Once again, you start at Gen Con. The midpoint of your year, your season, would be like where Winter Fantasy is, and the final would be Origins. So it leaves you that gap in the middle between Origins and Gen Con to ramp up to get excited about the next big thing. So it basically works very simple. You start Gen Con. Everybody's at Gen Con. Everybody's excited. Ooh, cool. It's a cool thing. It's really cool. Da, 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 da. And you get them playing. So the first one at Gen Con, maybe for this one, let's say start. It's the Alpha Adventure. Maybe it's a Battle Interactive. Maybe it's that good. We start out with a big Battle Interactive. We're talking like you know, 8 to 12 people at a table, models, big thing. Like, okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Okay, all right. So in my head, I keep saying I'd love to do a scene that I remember reading in a comic book series, which now I got to write in here. Damn it. Called War of Kings. War of Kings had a interesting beginning. First issue. Okay, so basically, let me give you the quick thing. These two groups of people, I'm not going to say who, but you just have to read the book to see it. These two groups of people have decided to come together to have a marriage out of political alliance to unify their two organizations, groups, families, whatever. And then they're going to have this big wedding, and it's going to be this big thing, and they have it set up. This other rival empire decides, hey, this is the perfect time to get these guys and do this attack. And basically, the attack in their language is a very unique. It's called cranium burst. That's what they call it. But really, it's saying it's a headshot. You guys are taking a headshot right off the bat, trying to stop this thing off the bat. So they have this wedding. They start, and they attack in the middle of the wedding. And these guys trounce these other guys. I mean, it is a woo! You got beat like you stole something. I mean, holy cow. That's how good it was. It was like, that's in the face. So the rest of the book, War Kings, goes and deals with that. I think that kind of beginning as a battle interactive works really well. You know, have your people there. It's these two factions that come together, and your group of guys at the table, you all belong to one faction. And in the middle of the wedding, you get punched in the face by these guys attacking. And it's not like it's an even, well, yes, we're going to run through them. It's like, no, these guys are much higher level of you on purpose, of course. And they basically just hand you a beating. You know, when you're done, it's like, my magic sword is broken and I like this one. Forget about it. We don't care. You just take just a punch in the face. And that's the first, that's what you get at the first Gen Con. You get that awesome feeling. Then all the adventures in between, the 2-hour adventures specifically, are just sections that go along. Some are hard points, some are soft points. And the way it works is that hard points have two pieces that relate to the story. Soft points either have 0 or 1 that relate to the main story. So it all depends. So you do that part, you do adventures take 2 months. So you figure that's 8 to 10. Let's say 8 to 10 till Winter Fantasy. Then Winter Fantasy happens, and that's your midpoint. And that's where you can have another big battle active thing. And maybe not anywhere, okay, with the dream would be where Winter Fantasy is. Maybe you'd be in the same room as them, but they'd probably be like a big frowning about that. Or you do the really crazy thing. You find another room that maybe it's small that you can rent out and do the same thing there and draw guys, or find some place that's close by, or find some place that has a lot of Pathfinder players, or at a convention at that time that has a lot of Pathfinder players, and you do it there. And you call it, this is our Winter Fantasy, or you get some cool name or midpoint, whatever. You do it there, and then you do the midpoint adventure where it gets exciting. Boom, 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 very cool. And then from Winter Fantasy, which I'm thinking, I'm going to say in my head, January-ish, but it's cold. I'm trying to get away from cold. I'm in South Florida. Till the end, till Origins, you put out another 8 to 10 adventures and get people going to storyline. So it's there and the soft points and boom, 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 boom. A lot of people are excited about that. I will contact you there, John. So at the end, boom, Origins. The big battle. It's another battle interactive, but it's just the end point. So whatever you've done to the storyline, you set it up. Here's the big battle, and here's the huge thing, and oh, it's awesome. So people are already hyped. So by the time Origin comes around, people who are excited, who might have been playing at Gen Con, are now going to Origins, are like, holy cow, this is so awesome. This is so awesome. I can't wait. You as the publisher, you kind of set up what next. You know what next year is. You know what next year was back in the middle of the year of Winter Fantasy, and you basically drive the storyline to that point. And then you have something happen that that's going to result to these things happening here. So it doesn't. So it matters if the people win or lose because it affects the storyline. But the overall bigger story, what's going to happen next. They can affect little things that make it, instead of it being this faction with this doing that, it's that faction doing this with that. But it still encompasses the original idea you had. And then you start with Gen Con, and that's year 2. And you keep doing it. And you keep doing this over and over and over. Look, this isn't rocket science. It's not very difficult to do. The problem comes down to, and I'm going to say this, and I've said this from day one, I don't know how to do the actual recording of this. If I could find somebody who's a computer savvy guy who could do the recording for this, so people, when they go out and play, they can record digitally because it'll all be online and they'd find all this stuff, I would clean up. I would be a beast in this area. You couldn't stop me. You just couldn't stop me. Great ideas, cool stories, push them out for the year, have the break in the middle. And the break in the middle, that's the coolest part. Because in the break in the middle, you're going to spend like 6 weeks just promoting what's coming up the next year. And remember, you've already written all that stuff because you started that way back in January. So now you've got all the stuff in-house, you've got artwork, you've got the writers involved with it. You can have them talking about the stuff and just talking about it, talking it up. And people are just like, what are they doing over there? Holy cow, that's a great idea. Why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I do that? And then you get to a point where you do this. This is where it gets really interesting. You built the online service to supply the information that people have. That online service, you then start renting out to other third-party guys. You say, look, we do this living campaign thing. We can build you a version for yourself. We can craft it to your company, your specs, your stuff. You just pay us X amount of dollars. Or you let us host adventures. We take 15% or whatever the pension is going to be. I don't know. I said 15 off the top of my head. I don't know if that's real. We take 15%. You take the rest. Boom. We'll keep promoting you. So when we have big events at cons, we'll have GMs to run your stuff there too. We have this, and then you become the source that people come to run organized play in the freaking industry. You then become, from being just an RPG publisher or tabletop publisher, to a provider of content for everybody. But once the digital side's up, and that's like the hard part. Once you get the digital side up and you get the GMs, you just get the content. So people want to run content, they have content. They put stuff out. Guys who are doing well, put more content out. Guys who are doing really well, put even more content out. The more content there is, the more money you make. The more money you make, the more content you make. You see how this goes? And it's just a big fat circle. It goes round and round and round. So if we can focus on that and do that, I think that's going to be the game changer right there. Because organized play, I get the idea of it. And it doesn't look like it's very complicated. It's more of the recording part. That's it. And believing the honesty. Because some people would want to cheat, which I think is the dumbest thing. Look, why would you want to cheat on a game you're supposed to have fun with? You got to be a real kind of jerk off to do that. And I don't get that. You don't have to do that. You can make cool stuff. You can do cool things. And so you don't have the best weapon. It doesn't matter. And so you get killed. It doesn't matter. You can make another character, man. And even cool, if you died cool, you can talk about it. My guy got killed by this giant when he kicked us off the freaking, oh my God. That's some good stories right there. So, and plus on top of that, here's the other part. Shh, I don't want this to get out. This is kind of crazy, but it's kind of there. If third-party guys teamed up to do this and just kept, the main part, the engine part together, you could have guys who are small companies, one-man companies, become like four-man companies, team up, and then join companies together and become larger companies. Because really, organized play is a marketing source. It's a marketing resource. Okay, yes, they sell the adventures because they need a way to cover it, but really it's marketing. It's 100% marketing. They're getting people interested in playing the game. Everybody at the table has to have like a campaign book, so you got them there. You add new stuff to it like Pathfinder does, or you just keep it open and say, well, you can use whatever you want. I wouldn't do that. I'm restrictions, but I think restrictions are necessary. But you make cool stuff. You make cool stuff. You get to play them in your cool setting. They get interesting about your setting. They buy your book. It's one of those kind of setups. And that's it. It's just that simple. I've been very excited about this, but I'm just trying to find the missing pieces. Even I'm like, look, I'm not perfect about this. I know there's some stuff that's missing. There's some stuff I have to do. There's some more stuff I have to focus on, but it's got some merit. It's got some merit. I think people would want to play. I think Henry Lopez, I told you where I got that idea from. I stole it from you. Jesus, Henry Lopez acting like he's the smartest guy in the room. Jesus almighty, Henry Lopez. Henry Lopez, Paradigm Concepts, is trying to mock me on my own show. That's I find offensive. But I've not said, Henry, I told people I've stolen your idea. It's a good idea. I'll tell you, you know what? I got a couple minutes. I'm going to tell you an idea that Henry didn't run with. He should have run with it years ago. And I'm still mad he didn't run with this. I still think it's a brilliant idea. And I think I told him when he did it was going to be a brilliant idea. Henry initially told me they were going to do like gladiator matches for like organized play in their thing. They had like, basically think like, like Spartacus and like that, or the people fight against each other, PvP. And there was going to be, a whole big overdone thing for it. And it sounded pretty awesome because, like, because people think about it. You go out to combat, you don't know if it's going to take like 10 minutes before it starts or I know you're joking. Take it easy. So there's like, this is a cool idea. I thought it was a brilliant idea. I really, really liked the idea. It really was exciting. I thought Henry would do it very well. Then everything happened with 3.5 and, they got some stuff moving around. But I always said, I think doing a gladiator situation like that would be awesome. I think people would pay for that kind of battle interactive. I think people would love to see that kind of battle active. I think people would find that be an awesome way to do it. Because look, if you played any OP, I mean, it's kind of, you know, kill monster, get treasure. So let's do some cool stuff when you kill monster, get treasure. Or kill monster, get treasure, influence the world in a way you didn't think about. Or kill monster, get treasure. That's not what's important. You should have done this thing over here that you weren't paying attention, and now you've caused this to happen. You know, you can tell the great stories with it, but still have it a cool moment. You know, and let's be honest, invasions are awesome. You know, any kind of invasions thing, you know, repelling invaders, you can do an undead horde thing all over, and just, you know, flip the script in all kinds of different ways. It's just, oh my god. I just think this is a great idea. I think organized play can be done differently. I think there need to be people involved with it to make it even more awesome. I think there needs to be more interactivity between ourselves as third-party publishers, D20P, FSRD. I think we need to team up more and do better things as a group. Because I think there's way too many creative people here where we're still kind of like, oh, it's 1980s, and we're doing that kind of ideas with tech and da. No, man, let's try something. Let's really push it. Let's you know, no, let's go get paid. Let's go get paid. Let's figure out how we can make money at this, because it's really, look, there's money to be made here. Don't kid yourself. If you think San Diego Comic-Con doesn't make money, you're kidding yourself. If you don't think Gen Con doesn't make money, you're kidding yourself. You know, John, I do remember three play. I think that it became overcomplicated. I think if I'm trying to get off this thing, but now we're getting all excited. I think it could have been done even smaller. I think the problem becomes everybody's got their own personal agenda they want to put in. Screw those agendas. They're not important. Here's the agenda we're pushing. This is it. Does your thing fall to the agenda? Well, I don't care about it. We're talking about this stuff right here in this small little box, and make it as important to what it should be. The agenda. Here it is. Here's the agenda right here. This thing right here. I don't care about this big old. I don't care. Stop talking about it. Well, my world is. I don't care about your world. I call about getting this stuff really simple as possible, elegantly simple. That's how it should be. So anybody comes in, they can add stuff to it. It's much easier to add things than to take things away. Let's get it down to its core idea. Keep it real simple. Make it real easy. And then if you want to add stuff, great. And if your thing works that you added and someone else can do the same thing, great. Now you have another piece we can add on that we all can use. Team effort. Team effort. But too many people get involved with the egos. How are we going to split the money up? Simple. Simple. We don't have to do any heavy thinking here. Oh my God. Whew. Jeez, it's going to be one of those days today. I didn't think it was going to be. All I was going to do is talk about, you know, Luke Cage and some nice old organized play. Now I'm sounding like a wild man. Like I've been drinking all day. See what happens? And it's only Monday, people. It's only Monday. You know, God. If it's only Monday, it only gets crazier from here. It isn't like it gets simpler. It only gets crazier. So there you go. On tech. John, I think the organizing and planning can be done even via tech. You know, once again, these are ideas I'd like to kick around. I made a choice this year. I don't say about this year, maybe my birthday. I'm just tired of doing what we've done before and just accepting what we get. I think it's time we, as the small publishers, let's be like the independent comic book guys. Those guys are doing very well. Not all of them, but look, Marvel and DC control 80% of the market. Yep, they control 80% of the market. But hey, the other 20% could still be a lucrative amount of money. And we could all do pretty well with that. So what the hell? I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to get this thing going. And if people want to come with me, that's great. Everybody put your ego aside. I don't care about your ego. I don't care about your political beliefs. I don't care about your religious beliefs. I don't care about your girlfriend, stuff like that. I care about us focusing how we can all work as a team. We can all work away saying, damn, we made a bunch of money on this and we made it something successful in the industry. And this is going to help propel us for the next 20, 30 years. Because that's what RPG Now did. You know, like it or don't like it. They figured it out. PDFs were going to be the future. And now look at it. Everybody's doing PDFs. Everybody. And segue. So yes, I released New Exodus, our campaign setting book that we've been working on the lovely Kickstarter for about a year. The PDF officially came out today at like 5 p.m. Yes, that's right. So we released it. It's available online. It's on RPG Now. Right now, I had to send it out to the people all involved with that. It is an awesome book. So many people worked on it. I even forgot some people's names. I'm so sorry. It was Eric and Alex, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to do it on purpose. That was totally my oversight. But once again, that's why we have a PDF, because we can make changes and then re-release it again. If you're wondering, the actual book is like 270 some odd pages, 270, I believe, still. And the actual PDF is like 270 megabytes. So yeah, there's a lot of art. It's a beautiful book. I'm very happy with it. We went art crazy on this book, and I probably will never do a book with this much art ever again. Yeah, man. Geez, really, John, really. I just put it out today. Really, you're gonna just bust my ass about this, really. Okay, so here, I'll make this quick. So John, this is how easy I'd like it to be. If I could just send you the file with all the stuff written, I'd love for you to put it up. If you had an online source, I could just tap it in very quickly, just like RPG Now and Paizo, I'd love that. That's how simple it needs to be for me. If I've got to think and you've made me think too much. I'm that kind of lazy. Make it even easier. See, once again, simple. Remember how we talked about this? Simple. I'm a simple brother. I like simple things. Just make it simple. Simple. There you go. All right. So yes, not gonna happen. This is like a bad date, John. This date, John. I mean, always gonna simple. Always gonna happen. Always gonna happen. All right. I'm getting out of here. I gotta make some phone calls. I gotta finish some stuff, and I gotta do some more work. Tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but it will be something fun and interesting. But today was fun and interesting, so I'm sure something will come up overnight that causes some kind of conflict. Or I might continue with the organized play and talk about some companies that have done it well, or some companies that have done it horribly. There's a thought. Yeah. Or maybe we'll talk about some Kickstarter and Patreon, because I got another Patreon going on. I'm loving that. I'm really loving that Patreon. Alan, let me see. Alan said Facebook. Yes. Alan is correct. I believe that way too. Alan, we'll talk. Well, good Lord, I'll talk about it when we were doing some other stuff. That is the piece that you just said was very much something we did. So, so difficult. These shows are so difficult. There's so much stuff we want to say, and there's not enough time. So that always upsets me. Two things, of course. Number one, Owen Casey Stevens, October 21st, Friday, 9 p.m. is going to do an hour show, maybe longer. You never know with us. We might just get crazy and have a lot of drinks. You know what happens. And we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. I'm really going to talk to him about, being a freelancer, because let's just call it like he is. He's probably the world's greatest freelancer. He's freelanced for everybody. I don't think there's many people he hasn't freelanced for. But it's going to be exciting. So come check it out. I think Owen will be awesome. And, since I know Owen, we can ask like really crazy stuff. You guys, get to the really crazy nitty stuff that we do. It's the stuff you don't know about. The stories behind the stories, the beer con and the liquor con after the con, that kind of stories, that kind of stuff. So that'll be quite enjoyable. So yes, you can check that stuff out. So that's the 21st. And as always, since we're only 5 people away from 200, sign up. Now, well, hold on. For YouTube. YouTube's up here. It's weird when you do it like here's with my phone. But YouTube, sign up here. You don't do it in Facebook. There's nothing to sign in there. But go to our YouTube page and sign up. We are 5 people away from 200. People keep leaving, keep coming. I don't understand what's going on. I just want to get to 200. I'm begging you. Let's get to 200. I'm begging. I'm out on my knees, but I got my hands crossed, so I'm begging you. I really am. Whew. All right, it's hot, and I got to turn the AC on, and I got to drink, and I'm hot. So thank you so much as always for watching. We're going to be here tomorrow, and we're going to see what kind of crazy stuff we're going to talk about. You never know with us. All right, talk to y'all later.